Either through somebody else's experience or your own, you're likely aware that a business idea and a business opportunity are two separate things. And in this video, I want to explain to you what those differences are and why these things actually matter before you invest money or make any moves when it comes to business. So let's start with the basics. The definition of a business idea means that this is a concept that has the potential that could make money. And an opportunity means that there has been already a proven commercial value to the idea that you are considering. Again, knowing the difference between an idea and an opportunity is crucial to avoid wasting any of your time as well as your money. So how do you know if you are looking at an idea or an opportunity? An opportunity is an idea that has the potential to become a viable enterprise right then within one or more markets. In order to be considered an opportunity, the idea needs to have high gross margins forecasted. It needs to have the potential to break even within 1 to 3 years. It needs to have a very dedicated and passionate team behind it. So the leaders behind that idea need to be real trailblazers, and there needs to be a level of low manageable risk. There cannot be a high risk factor in order for it to be considered a true business opportunity. And even with the low or manageable risk factors, there needs to be strong contingencies in place, meaning that should one of the avenues to make money fail, there's another one ready to come in and fill that gap right away, or there's a review process that will take place as soon as that avenue reveals itself to not be profitable. So how do you create opportunity out of an idea? Obviously, you need a business plan. This is crucial for successful businesses to have. And I mean successful, long-lasting ones, not ones that are going to turn a profit but then burn out right away after they get started. So business plans turn your idea into an opportunity, because as you're doing the research for your business plan, you are going to see a lot of different gaps in the markets and how you can define your idea to fill those gaps. And you'll learn more about your target market. You'll learn more about their buying behavior. You'll understand more about why your product or service is necessary right now or not. Business plans also require you to consider your resources, and this includes your time, this includes your connections. So you're going to have to lay out who's going to be part of your team, who's going to be the leadership in charge of implementing this idea into the market. You're going to have to list out funding, manufacturers, how much things are going to cost. You're really going to learn the difference between an idea versus an opportunity as you start to do your business plan. That's the whole point of doing it. Unfortunately, something that I've seen in the past is that people want to skip this step, right? Writing a business plan takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of research. You have to get down into every minor detail about how your business will run and whether or not this will actually turn a profit. And if you want a profit, how exactly you're going to make that money. And it forces you to account for every single cent and every single moment of how you are going to be running your day, how you are going to be marketing your business, and so on and so forth. When people are doing their business plans, they tend to just get overwhelmed and they just want to jump into running their business, starting their business. And unfortunately, that's a great way to make sure that your idea never turns into anything more than that. By doing this, you not only don't create an opportunity for your ideas to succeed in, you actually don't even know what ingredients you need in order to create a successful outcome for that idea. And so really not skipping this step is something that I highly recommend to people who want a long-lasting business, one that they can build on over years and even decades. So let's get back into why a business idea would turn into a good opportunity. You can use the acronym CRAM, which can help you judge whether or not your idea is also an opportunity. C stands for capability. So first of all, you want to know that you have everything set up in order to operate your business. And by this, we mean defining exactly what your business will need, but also what you as the business owner would need. You need to know how to leverage your skills and services that you have to help push your product or service forward, but also who would be assets to you to have in your team, whether that's a formal team or an informal team. And if you are recognizing that you don't have those skills and you don't have the relationships right now, maybe instead of trying to turn your idea into an opportunity, you take time to start making more meaningful connections. Maybe you ask better questions to figure out what types of skills, knowledge, and resources you truly need in order to turn this idea into an opportunity. Again, I've mentioned this before, but a lot of business owners think that they have to do it all themselves. They try to be, the accountant, the marketer, the visionary for their business. And this is a great way to experience burnout. This is a great way to make sure that your idea never gets off the ground. You need to understand that outsourcing the things that are not your strengths can actually make your business stronger and your product and service stand out among crowds. So you want to analyze everything. Do you have an existing distribution channel? Do you need partners to help you instead? Do you have all of the pieces to your plan, to your idea to make this a real opportunity? What is it that you actually need from the team of people that you have around you in order to make this idea a reality? And I mean that both in the short term and in the long term. R stands for risks. Every idea will have risk, but you need to understand how severe they are and how manageable the difference is between a good idea and an actual opportunity. You need to say, this is where I draw the line of a good idea, and this is where I actually call it an opportunity. And by the way, everybody's risk factor is going to be different because some people have a lot of capacity to risk a lot of time, a lot of money, and if they don't get that back, they take it as a learning opportunity and they're able to move forward and start another business right away. Other people won't have that capacity. So you really need to know if you are investing in a good idea or an actual viable business. So when you're assessing the risk, you need to really look at your over-dependence on resources that are outside of your direct control. You need to pay attention to current or potential competitors and existing or future regulations for anything that involves your service or your product. You want to know how much initial investment is actually necessary in order to make a good product and to get that product in front of people who will pay to have it. You want to know everything that there is to know about your industry. You want to know everything that there is to know about your market. If you are developing something on your own, you want to know already what patents are in place or how you can protect your intellectual property that you're bringing to this arena. A stands for ambitions, and the basis, the foundation for any opportunity is its ability to make money, right? But there also needs to be a broader consideration of whether this idea is a good goal for your specific team in order to bring that thing to life. Right? You could have a good idea, but if you're not the right fit for that idea, then it won't turn into anything that's beneficial in terms of a business opportunity. So true business opportunity will consider financial, lifestyle, and purpose goals of the team, of the founder, and the product or service that they are developing. You want to make sure that you are accurately and appropriately predicting revenues. You need to make sure that you're making enough money to cover all the costs and the profits that are necessary in order to pay paychecks and also to break into additional markets. You want to know how long it will take to break even after you get the initial setup costs and the investments done. You want to know what the end game looks like for you, and are you planning accordingly at the beginning to make sure that that comes to fruition? Ultimately, will this business provide you the lifestyle that you want to lead? That will be huge for founders, especially because if people develop something that they think will give them the freedom, but then it turns out that it's this thing that they're constantly being involved in instead of working on, people fall out of love with the idea of owning their own business, because the initial beginning stages of any business, you're going to be working way more than 9 to 5. And the same goes for the rest of your team. Do the values and the principles behind the work ethic that's required, the amount of hours, the amount of investment, and everything else around developing your product or service fit in line with your team. This is going to be huge in determining whether you have a business idea or a business opportunity. And finally, M stands for market. And this means that you need to have a very defined audience who are willing and able to pay for your product or services. You need to know everything that you can about your target audience, and I've already covered this in one of my previous videos, so if you need help in understanding who your target market is, then go check out that video. But you want to know how much your audience needs what you are bringing to the market, how much they are able to pay for it, how easily would they be willing to pay for or acquire your service or product. I mentioned before in some of my other videos that entrepreneurs have a never-ending supply of good ideas, right? And when you become more married to one idea because it has passed the test of all of the things that I've mentioned and more, right? You've written a full-blown business plan for it, and you understand the ins and outs of your market and why your product or service is necessary, not just for your audience, but why it's necessary right now, and how you plan to evolve to make sure that you are constantly adding value to your audience. Then you're going to have a higher bar of where you set the idea or opportunity level versus somebody who's just trying to get into something and make something happen very fast. Without the due diligence, without really looking into what has already happened in this sector with this business specifically, if you're trying to acquire one, with the target market, the target audience that you are going after, and understanding everything that you can about them, you can really make a bad mistake by thinking you have an opportunity when really it's an idea. I mentioned in one of my previous videos the number one thing to make businesses succeed, and it all came down to timing. So I encourage you to go check out that video next so that you can learn more about why timing is everything when it comes to having a good idea or a good opportunity.